welcome to UC Today. I'm Susie Harrison, Senior Content Editor, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Max Edwards, who is Product Evangelist at Kakapo. So thanks for joining me, Max.
Of course, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So Kakapo provides software for call center operations and has launched Vision 360 Analytics, which we're going to chat a bit about today. Do you want to just start by talking about the pain points that you found your customers were experiencing that led Kakapo to launch Vision 360?
Yeah, of course. And I think just to kick off that discussion, it's worth it just to kind of go over a little bit about the background and the beginnings of Vision 360. So Vision 360 is a reporting and analytics platform designed for BroadSoft and BroadWorks-based call centers. Now, for years, part of the BroadSoft landscape was the BroadWorks ECCR, which was the Enhanced Call Center Reporting. However, a few years ago, that was announced as end of life and end of support as of September this year. So we were looking to kind of fill one of the gaps in the market. And so that's kind of how Vision 360 came about and how we came up with the idea for it. Now, first and foremost, Vision 360 is designed to fill that key pain point of the ECCR going away. So that's no longer going to be available for a lot of customers, and the ones who do use it, in case anything happens, unfortunately it's end of support, so there's not going to be any assistance. So primarily we're looking to fill that gap. But on top of that, there are still some pain points with ECCR, things such as the lack of non-call center reporting, lack of user-friendly analytics and reporting software, lack of an affordable mass market or small and medium-sized business option, as well as a lack of certain capabilities, like I mentioned, the non-call center reporting, and things just such as smarter reports or something such as Cradle-to-grave call reporting. So those are some of the key pain points that we were trying to address with Vision 360.
Okay, and what amongst your customers, what are the key metrics, the most important metrics that they're looking to track with these sorts of platforms?
So there's a few metrics that people really focus on. First and foremost is call volume. So basically just the amount of incoming calls that customers are receiving. And it's not just call volume in general, how many calls, but where are those calls going? Are they going to support queues, sales queues? Are those calls going to queues that handle simple tasks such as payment processing or password resets? Or are they going to more advanced queues for things such as troubleshooting technical issues or providing additional assistance for goods or services rendered? So call volume is a very important one. Abandoned calls, always traditionally an important metric. Someone who calls into a call center looking for support and then they hang up before they get to an agent. How many abandoned calls are customers receiving and when are they coming in? So how long does it take for someone to abandon? Are they abandoning within the first few moments of calling in? Or are they looking at, waiting for a few minutes and then hanging up? So just getting a feel for how long people are waiting before they give up is another important thing. Related to that would be service levels. So a service level for us is just, a percentage of inbound calls that are answered within a predetermined length of time. So for instance, if my service level is to answer all calls within the first 90 seconds of them coming in, any caller that waits longer than 90 seconds, we didn't match the service level, so that's something we'll look to improve, whether that's improving agent efficiency, adding more agents, or just training our agents a little differently. Couple more things, such as average handle time. How long does it take an agent to process an inbound conversation, an inbound call, do all the things, all the tasks they need to on the call with the customer, and then complete any post-call work, such as taking notes, creating tickets, or sending cases off before they're ready to go ahead and process the next call. And then I think obviously the last one is average wait time. How long on average, and this goes to service level, how long on average are callers waiting to speak to an agent once they get into queue? Are they waiting just a few moments? Are they waiting a few minutes? So those are really, I would consider some of the most important metrics that our customers are tracking and that most customers are looking to track when they do add a reporting software like Vision 360.
And are you finding those requirements, those reporting requirements are changing? Obviously, we've got AI coming into contact centres now more widely, taking away some of those automated, where automation can be applied. So have you seen any changes in the reporting requirements among your client base?
Yeah, absolutely. Reporting requirements are changing. First and foremost, I think businesses nowadays are relying a lot more on data to make important decisions than they were before. And more businesses are actually requesting that data and wanting to get hold of that data, which to me is something that, has is new. I haven't seen so many small and medium-sized businesses want access to this data. And they're looking to create and make some really important wide-ranging business choices or business decisions with this data. They're looking at things such as agent performance. How are their agents spending their time when they're in work? How much time are they idle for, just sitting there waiting for a call and without any other tasks to do? How much time are they spending on different tasks? Because with call centers, you can track all these different activities that agents are doing. So more and more customers want access to that data to see what their agents are currently up to. Um, Customers are also looking for trends in call volume. What's driving call volume? And other, more importantly, businesses are also looking for ways to offload trivial tasks such as payment processing to virtual agents. For example, if a customer has a call center and one of their queues is to process payments for goods or services rendered, and let's say agents are spending their time between processing payments and also working on more complex tasks. With reporting and analytics, we can see that our agents are spending up to 25% of their day processing payments. So if we get rid of that queue and we put in, let's say, an automated auto attendant that can process those payments securely, we can, free up to 25% of our agents' time to handle more complex tasks. The knock-on effect is we have higher customer satisfaction, better customer experience, and for those more complex issues, there's going to be a quicker resolution, and customers are going to be waiting less just to be assisted.
And have you got any examples of success stories where you guys have implemented Vision 360 and that client has really seen, a good return on their investment, and what specifically it's really helped them improve in their contact center?
Yeah, so I have a couple of examples. So recently I worked with a customer in the hospitality business. They're a hotel and they currently answer calls not only for themselves, but there's another property next door owned by the same parent company that they also answer calls for. And that second property it's much larger and it receives a significantly larger call volume. So the manager that I was working with was kind of struggling with being able to justify why they needed so many agents to answer inbound calls, and just to kind of prove what's coming from their property versus what's coming from the sister property. With Vision 360, because previously this manager didn't have any real reporting or analytics, they could see how many inbound calls they had, but they couldn't really go any further than that, and it was just a pain to get just that information. So with Vision 360, they're able to see how many calls are going to, they're receiving from each property. They can see how much time their agents are spending answering calls for their property versus the other sister property, which is really giving them the ability to justify their staffing decisions, making sure that they're budgeting properly. And the end result is not only is there a better customer experience because there's always going to be enough agents there, but the business is also able to better utilize their resources. Another example is in the health sphere. So NHS uses our callback and queue system to help with call volume, scheduling surgeries, scheduling appointments, just being able to speak to a practitioner or a nurse. Previously, they didn't have these callback capabilities. And before with ECCR, there really was no reporting aspect for our callback and queue system. So with Vision 360, they're able to see exactly how many callbacks they're receiving each day. They're able to see how long on average it takes an agent or a nurse to process those callbacks and get to that patient. And then they're also able to staff better to handle the surges in call volume because they're able to track that with Vision 360, but they're also able to maximize their callback and queue system just because they have more analytics and metrics than they did before.
Great. Well, it sounds like some really useful use cases for this. So thanks for sharing those, and thank you for joining me today, Max.
Yeah, of course. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
And thank you to our viewers for watching. If you enjoyed this, then please do like and subscribe to the channel for more videos as they drop. And of course, we'll continue to focus on these topics on uctoday.com. So for now, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.